Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel, and welcome to this probably last video on the build of the Hangar Rat. I've done some progress offline. First of all, I've built the propeller. I've built it up with following the plans, the shape of let's say I don't know what these are called, the propeller blades. I have not bent them over, I haven't curved them with water. I think that would be maybe something good to do, but in the plans that I have, at least it doesn't seem to show that. And I have stuck them onto a shaft of wood. This is a 4mm wood. I have the feeling the incidence might be too high. Let's see if it's efficient or not, but in any case it's a propeller, and I hope it turns. I've also built up the shaft for the propeller. For this I used a Z hook or Z hook, I'm not sure how it's said. I saw this on one of the videos from Max Fly Art. I'm sure you know that one because he really has very beautiful videos about flying models, and also lately he's been doing videos about how to do these models, like amongst other things like how to build these shafts. So I've tried to emulate that. It's not good, but as a practice I think it's not bad. What I've done also, and I'm not sure if you can see it, I've putting a little hook in here. Let's see if I can point at it somehow. I've putting a little hook in here, which is actually an old staple, and I've glued it in there, which in a way what I hope it does is it'll be the clutch somehow, no? That it'll hook into it. It doesn't actually, but that it'll somehow prevent it from spinning, from getting hooked, that it'll allow the freewheeling, and that it'll actually turn the propeller with the rubber power. So that's maybe the most complicated part that I've been doing. What else have I done? Yes, also some of you have commented about using the mix of water and glue to cover all the surfaces. I've done that also. I probably should have done it earlier before putting the tissue on the wings, but I've done it, let's say, retroactively. So I hope it helps with the resistance, because it is the ribs are really very flimsy. So that's a progress that I have so far. And one more thing also, the landing gear. I had like two balsa wheels around, so I just used those. Bending the undercarriage, I followed the plan. It looks easy. It's not really that easy, especially to keep it all flat. But I've taken the thinnest wire that I had, and I've bent it, and at least I hope it protects somehow the propeller when it falls, and it might also help with the setting of the center of gravity. So now that all being set up, it's basically assembly time, right? So I'll be probably first thing I'll be doing will be to glue the wings together. So this is one wing, and this is another wing that I have here. So that will probably be the next step. I'll be gluing these together, and I'll probably be using the white glue, the normal white glue. As you know, I'm not a complete fan of the super glue yet. So I'll somehow glue these together and somehow let it settle for a couple of hours, and then we'll have the wings. Then I have to glue the wings to this holder, this strut, and this is one of these modifications from Jose that would allow me then to modify the center of gravity and maybe angle of incidence. So this would come somehow in here, I hope. And then I'll probably put some kind of, it's quite tight already as it is, so maybe that's good. If not, then with a rubber band I would maybe tie it around that it doesn't move, and then once I find then the sweet spot, if I ever find that, then I might even glue it. And then also putting on the landing gear here. I've already tried it and I broke this before, so I'm not going to do it again, but I'm putting a little piece of paper to keep it in place. And again, this would serve also as a balance to make sure the center of gravity is somehow where it has to be. So let me put it there. So there we are actually. So it might protect actually the propeller. So that is how far I am now. So I start with the assembly. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long. I'm hoping it's not too crooked. It's not straight completely, but let's see how it goes. Like, it's important that the wings are straight, right? So, and then of course, then the tail surfaces I'll also have to glue on. So I'll get onto it, and then I'll get back to you when there's a little bit more progress and something more to show. I was just gluing on this the stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, and this is why I'm not a fan of super glue. It's stuck, and if I pull it I think it's going to hurt, so I don't know how I'll do it. Maybe I'll just have to live with a hanger rat attached to my finger for the rest of my days. Come on. So a bit of an update on the Hangar Rat. So I've glued the holder to the wings and I'm holding them now in place, so hopefully that'll be enough. I'm now using the white glue. As you know, my skills with the super glue end up hurting my fingers, so I'm using a bit of the white glue now. So that'll be the wing. Let's see how that goes. I hope it'll hold. And then I've been doing some experiments with different kinds of rubber. This is a rubber band from one of the Guillo's models. It has much more torque, so I put it on, I wind it up a little bit, and then it does go around on the floor quite fast, even if the wheels aren't perfect. I'm actually also thinking what to do with the wheels. And then I've got this other rubber, which is, I think it's a 1.5 times 1.5 millimeter, which is much softer, so it can turn forever but at very low torque, so that might actually not be bad. So this is the point of having this model, which is to try to figure out these little things like what propellers, what rubber, how many turns and things like that. So that's a bit of it. It is getting a little bit worn out already. The propeller hasn't even flown and it's already worn out, so I have the feeling I might need to make another propeller or maybe use harder wood or do something about it. But again, that's the whole point of learning with this one. And with the wheels, they don't turn. I don't have a way of bending the wire so closely to the wheel without damaging it. So I'm actually thinking maybe the wheels might not be needed, maybe just the wires kind of as skid, to use them as skids. That might be enough because it will be very light, I think. So anyhow, I have to wait for this to glue together. The wing, it'll come together, and then I'll mount it, and then it's going to be the battle to see the center of gravity and maybe some initial flights. But before that, I'll come back and I'll share the progress, and let's see how it goes. Now another update on the Hangar Rat. So I've taken the prop off and I've put in some metal plates. They cut off from the bottom of a packet of chips. I won't say the brand because they don't pay me, but yeah, that's a bit of metal there, so I hope that works a bit better. And I've put on the wings. Now this is on this removable jig, so I can take it off, move it backwards and forwards. Unfortunately, when I put it on, I realized, and I don't know if you can see it, that it's a little bit crooked. So I think the right wing, the dihedral on the right side, is a bit higher than on the left, which will probably mean it will turn more to the right, to the left. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to fix that, but let's see. Maybe then with a prop and all that stuff, it might change. So once I put the propeller back on, then I'm going to have to figure out the center of gravity. Another thing that I've done is I've braided the rubber motor. I've taken the thin 1 by 1 millimeter, I think it is, the rubber, and I've braided it. I've never done this before, and it was interesting. I do understand that it is very important to make sure that the center of gravity stays in the same place, and therefore to be able to do the flights and things like that in the same conditions. If you don't do it, then it can shift and things like that. So I've done that, and that's interesting. It looks good actually. I don't need to tie it with anything else, just a knot at the end. So then I'll have to hook it onto the propeller shaft and on the rear hook, and then I'll soon be starting with the test flight. So let me put this together, the propeller on, and then I'll come back and I'll close this off. And here it is, the Hangar Rat finished. I have the feeling I'm going to have to do a lot of changes, as for example the rubber, it turns quite a lot, but it doesn't have much torque, so I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. I have marked, as according to the plan, I have here on the plan marked the center of gravity, so I've marked it on the wing also, and I've tried to balance on it, and it kind of holds there, which is good. If it has enough lift and the incidence is good enough or not, that will be then another question. But in overall, here it is, a kind of a transparent aeroplane, difficult to see probably. I've got to find a place where I can fly it indoors, and I don't have a hangar, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I'll have to think something up. But I understand some of you that are saying that you've built several of these, because it is a fun build. It's not completely easy, I would say, very small pieces, but a fun build, and hopefully a learning experience for myself before I go and experiment with other rubber powered. I'm going to build probably in the meantime, but the rubber power is a difficult area, and hopefully this will be a good training basis for me. So anyhow, I'll probably post the flying videos also at some point, but by the time that I've flown and you've given me your comments, I've probably destroyed this already at least once. But in any case, it's been a pleasure to share this with you. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll keep you posted.